Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Venus, which is right now in the sign of Virgo, is debilitated. And this Venus will move in the zodiac sign of Libra, which is its own zodiac sign, on 18th of October. Now, a lot of things are happening around 18th. This transit of Venus is a much needed relief because Venus is now no longer debilitated. It is now not supposed to be dependent on Mercurian energy. But one thing is constant, and that is the combustion of Venus. Let's discuss about this more in detail. But before that, do not forget to subscribe my channel. Hit the bell icon so that you don't miss another update. Follow me on Instagram for reels and Telegram for content that are exclusive for Telegram, also for extended version of my transit analysis and some really interesting astrology videos. Please follow me on Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon podcast series, and that will give you more insights in Vedic astrology. For consultations, you can drop me an email. And now let's understand in depth what this Venus transit in Libra will mean for all of us. See, Venus is a planet that defines love, relationship. It defines luxury and then the material wealth, the material success, and also the beauty, the glamour. And this Venus, Shukra, also represents vitality that is necessary to sustain the existence on this planet. Such Venus is now no longer debilitated after 18th of October, and that is a much needed relief. You can say it's a blessing for the humanity, because this Venus will be now in its own zodiac sign. It will regain its power. But if you observe the constant flow of motion of the planets, you will observe that Sun and Mercury are actually going hand in hand with this Venus for this entire transit in Libra zodiac sign. Then you have to also understand that Venus is combust for the entire duration in Libra. And in fact, Venus will be very, very close to Sun when it will be in Libra. On 25th, that means 25th of October, there is a solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, but technically a solar eclipse that is being formed in the Libra zodiac sign. And we know that Ketu is present in Libra. And Ketu will cross from Vishakha to Swati Nakshatra around the transit of Venus. Now you see, a lot is happening around Libra zodiac sign. So definitely Libra is the zodiac sign that will get impacted the most. But this also talks about imbalance in life, sudden surge of spiritual energy, but also sudden depletion of spiritual energy. You will see that whatever your life is, whatever the way your life is going, something will try to counterbalance it. There will be some sort of nullification that will happen during this time. So is it a favorable time or is it a negative time? It depends how you see the transit. Because whenever any planet attaches itself with Ketu, or when it transits over Ketu, shredding, grinding of the planet is inevitable. Because Ketu is mokshakari. Ketu will give its moksha related energy, and it will ask the planet to leave its true character behind and forget. So it's like an amnesia. So in spite of this Venus moving in Libra zodiac sign, this Venus may not feel like its own home even in Libra. So it means no matter what you are trying to do, you may feel a certain level of detachment, and you may feel a certain level of disassociation with your emotions. Now this is where the problem will lie. You may experience a debilitated effect of Venus even in Libra. And that is when the mind can trouble you a lot. That is when you may experience the negative energy and you may feel bad about whatever is happening with you. And that is when you have to change your perspective, because now you know that Venus is not debilitated. This is Venus' own zodiac sign. And when Venus goes and meets Ketu and crosses over that, along with the combustion, it only means that life will find its true purpose for a lot of people during this time, but you may have to let go of a lot of emotions, bad relations, and maybe a huge lot of expectations, and you have to trim down, you have to slim your expectations, and your ability to achieve that will be tested during this time, and you will get to know what is your ability, what you can achieve, what you cannot achieve. Basically, you will know your threshold. And in certain cases, this Venus crossing Ketu also mean that if you are holding on to something that is very negative, you will get to see the true picture of it and you will be able to let it go. So dissolution, letting go, moksha, changing of paradigm, changing in the perspective towards life. This is the theme of Venus transit in Libra zodiac sign. Libra is more or less associated with relationships, marriages, contracts. It is about striking a balance in your life as well as in the society. So you must see that in order to maintain balance, a bit of sacrifice is needed. And that must be done during this time. And you will also recognize and appreciate that sacrifice. Now that sacrifice can be anything. It may be a sacrifice of food because you are facing bad health. It may be sacrifice of money because somebody in your family or someone you love needs that money. It may be sacrifice of your time because somebody needs that time. Or it may be sacrifice of bad habits because that's what you should do. So if you are somebody who wants to give up on a bad habit, if you want to say give up on smoking or drinking, if you want to let go of an emotion that is holding you from very long time, this is the right moment. Also, the power of eclipse in Libra is going to trigger the spiritual centers in your body. And remember, Libra is where the meeting between different forces happens. So Libra is one zodiac sign, and you know how it is represented. It is represented by a common balance. This is which balances both the good and the bad. It is the middle ground. And that is where you have to understand that in your life also, you will have to come to that balance through some sort of compromise. So, if you are desperate to hold and to win, if you are desperate to prove your mettle, prove your point, then this month can be really troublesome for you. Because Venus, no matter who you are or whatever situation we may be in, Venus is Maya. And to be at the pinnacle of success, actually you are getting successful in Maya. And that's a temporary success. So Lord of Maya, Venus and Rahu, has to bless you. And when that happens, you become successful. But when the same planet, Venus, crosses over Ketu, Ketu moving to Swati Nakshatra, the usual tricks of the book will not work. You will have to change. This is also the time when you need to embrace spirituality. Change the track of life. Now when Venus impacts the Libra zodiac sign, Taurus also gets impacted. Now see what's happening in Taurus. There is a retrograde Mars. And because of this first direct Mars till the end of October and then till 11th November, you will see as long as Venus is in Libra, Mars will be retrograde in Taurus. Isn't the two zodiac sign of Venus getting impacted by two very strong malefic, one retro Mars and the other Ketu? So you can understand that this combustion and this effect on Venus is actually coming across as a very negative effect. The good thing is Sun and Mercury are going hand in hand, as if somebody is hand holding Venus and giving you the way out. Somebody is giving you the light, the torch. But if you ignore that, then you will have to face the consequence of your own karma. Is it negative? No, absolutely not. It's not negative. It will only be negative if you're not able to process what Venus is trying to talk to you, what Venus is trying to tell you. In a very basic and simple layman terms, what you have to do? Leave what should be left behind. Be minimalistic, but still be artistic. Take leap of faith, but also understand that everything comes at a cost. Be prepared to pay that cost. In matters of love and relationship, so show selflessness. Don't show selfish nature. You do first and don't expect anything in return. I'm not talking in the case of highly troubled or you can say relationship which are abusive, but I'm talking about in general happy relationship. Help as many people as you can, especially people who are depressed and sad, who do not have means and resources to maintain their day-to-day activities. Also, praying to Ma Mahalakshmi will be one of the better ways to manage the Venusian energy. Also, this Venus and this association of Venus with Sun and Ketu and then influence of Mars can make your mind over masculine. So this over masculinity, I'm talking about the negative side of masculinity, can actually make you believe that you are in trouble and you have to do something about it, and you will take some measure, and then you will realize that you overestimated your ability. So that also you will have to understand. On the other factor, if you see that Ketu transit in Swati, which is Rahu's nakshatra, indirectly connects Venus with Rahu, because Venus will also move into Swati nakshatra. So during that time, be very careful while you are spending your money. You have to be very careful how you are investing your money. Taking debts during this time is actually bad for you. It is a good time for people who are very flexible in their life, who are ready to change. Discipline is one thing, but being too rigid like a stone is a different thing. So you have to be rigid yet flexible during this time. Businesses will see negative impact during this time. You will have to be very careful if you have business, especially if you have business that is associated with Venusian energies or Ketu related energy. Be careful. Not that you will see losses, but because that will be depending on your personal horoscope. But the energy association is such that you might regret your decision later on, and you may have to, either let it go, cut it off. This can show broken relationship, partnerships. This can prove to be a kind of a transit where you yourself are cutting away from your friends. So you will see that you are being more isolated, and not that you are being forced to, but you want to be like that. So when Venus goes in Ketu, the happiness is within. So just live your normal life. Don't take any drastic measure. Don't take any out of the box sudden measure unless you have planned and you know what you're doing. And always try to see the happiness within. Meditate, and you can also chant Shukr Bij mantra. That will also help you a lot. On every Friday, try to feed the poor. Feeding the poor, making somebody happy by giving them good food is something that you can do to improve the quality of Venus, because Venus' ultimate expression is always in sacrifice. That's why Venus gets exalted in Pisces, right? It's always in sacrifice where Venus finds true happiness. So when Venus is with Ketu, you have to find the spiritual expression of this planet rather than materialistic expression. And when you will do that, you will see your life is fine, just fine. Adding the energy of Jupiter to this Venus will also be very important. On the other hand, you have to also understand that during the transit of Venus in Libra, Saturn is getting direct, and Saturn will become direct fourth from Venus, because Saturn is in Capricorn zodiac sign. During this time, I will say this is actually a very good thing for Venus, because if you are practical enough, if you are grounded enough, you will see that you are coming in terms with the situation. You are handshaking with your life, and it's like a smooth flow. Only when you are desperate to change something that cannot be changed, like you are trying to push a wall, is when most of the problems will arise, and you may say that the transit was not that positive. If you want to take any important action related to marriage, relationships, business, finance, or even about your image, take it after 30th of October. The biggest reason being not that Mars will become retro, because you cannot change planets. At least respect what is turning to become direct. So Saturn will become direct, and that stabilizes a lot of things, because remember, Libra is the zodiac sign of exaltation of Saturn, and Saturn will have 10th aspect on Libra, which will stabilize a lot of energies of Libra, provided you are thinking like Shani. Slow, constant, understanding the functionality rather than going with the glitz and glamour, and sticking to the basics. Fundamentals are very important when Venus will move in Libra zodiac sign. Thank you, Faiz, for watching this video till now. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, this is your host Punneit. Namaste.